stringimi forte e stammi più vicino, se ci sto bene sarà perché ti amo.
Io campo al ritmo del dolce tuo respiro, è primavera, sarà perché ti amo. Cade una stella, ma dimmi dove siamo.
Che te ne frega, sarà perché ti amo. E ora ora si sa, se bambina così va. Il mondo è matto perché se l'amore non c'è, basta una sola canzone per far confusione. Fuori di me, ora si va, se bambina così va. Il mondo è matto perché se l'amore non c'è, basta una sola canzone per far confusione. Fuori di me.
I have been playing a lot of point-and-click adventure games recently, but now with the arrival of my new gaming PC, I can finally drop that nerdy shit and replace it with some hot, manly action games. There were many candidates, but I have good memories of the Just Cause series. The first game had loads of action, hot ladies, and a big paradise island with an overdone bloom effect. The second game was prettier, bigger, had even more action, and it also improved the grappling hook. The third game was even prettier, even bigger, and they introduced the wingsuit that was loads of fun. Now the fourth game is, well, very similar to the third game.
I think we just started a rebellion.
I know that this game had some issues at launch, but as a latecomer, I will just ignore that. Today, this game looks very nice and runs like a dream on my machine. It is nothing you haven't seen before, but I can't help but be amazed by these visuals. With the exception of the new jungle area though, it looks very similar to the third game. The new jungle biome does look very nice though. It is green, lush and pretty, with the big exception being the water, which literally looks like shit. They had a lot of issues with the water in general at the launch of this game, but they seem to have fixed it for the other biomes, but not for the jungle one. Taking a step back, perhaps we should expect more from this game since it released 3 years after the third one. But the truth is that this is enough to impress me, and although it would be nice to have it even prettier, there are far more important things for my enjoyment. There is one thing that stands out however, and that is the cutscenes, which look terrible.
Mira, I'm on the tornado core. What am I looking for?
Look for an access panel. It should be near the center of the core.
They look like shit, and it doesn't help the already shitty story. Once again, you play as Riku, and you are out to kill the dictator who killed your father. This time it's personal. Again. The story in this game is shit, on many different levels. The first level is that the story is barely there. The villains get little to no screen time, and calling them underdeveloped is an understatement. The same can be said about the side characters, and with the exception of the UFO guy, they are all underdeveloped, boring, and get little to no screen time. Even Sheldon fails to deliver, and let us not even go into the borefest, which is Mira. In short, there is barely any story. Nothing of interest happens, and the little that is there doesn't get enough screen time to grow into something.
Espinosa is mine.
Judgment lights up.
The second level to this is the characterization of the whole island, which also sucks. What kind of place is this? Who lives here? Why should I care about any of it? It is nice that they have added some radio channels, but it is not enough. You need to meet some people to get some human attachment, and the game doesn't deliver on this. And it also doesn't help that this game map is the most video gaming map I have ever seen in a Just Cause game. And then we have the third level, which is the tone of the game. The name Just Cause is a pun, which both references the questionable just cause of spooks conspiring to take down corrupt dictators. But it is also a reference to Just Because, which of course refers to the senseless violence and destruction in the game.
Rico, thanks for doing this.
For this review, I replayed the older games, and there is a clear change in tone which is very noticeable. In the first Just Cause game, it is clear that you are a group of spooks conspiring to start the revolution for cynical reasons.
Next stop, Maricuri. Cute town. Nice place to start a war.
You will create tension between local drug cartels to destabilize the region, help out corrupt police officials, and support the rebellion with questionable moral motives. This is not an especially good story, but as stupid as this plot is, there is still an adult element in it, and the themes involved appeal to me. In Just Cause 4, this is gone. Now this is the Disney Rebellion, and you are gathering a crew of diverse, unique and hip rebels to take down the man. This is so incredibly generic and boring that I almost find it amazing. And I don't understand why this game with an high age rating needs to have a children's story. It just makes no sense to me, and it doesn't appeal to me. Perhaps it appeals to someone, but I'm certainly not the audience for this story. In short, Just Cause should just be renamed Just Because that is what it is about currently, and I can't help but feel that something was lost. Still, with all of that being said, there is nothing wrong with a little bit of mindless action, and this game revels in it. There is a lot to cover, but let us start with the wingsuit. As a kid, I remember playing the Flatout games with some friends, and we thought it was really funny to play the side events where you launch your character through the windshield to see the ragdoll effects where he landed and hurt himself. Now, 15 years later, I still enjoy this, and the wingsuit is such a nice and convenient tool that looks gorgeous, controls wonderfully, and always results in hilarious failures. I really like it, and it is a great benefit to this game. The wingsuit can make the combat into a bit of a clusterfuck though, but we will get to that later. Besides the wingsuit, this game have a number of different vehicles. We have cars, tanks, motorcycles, big trucks, small boats, big boats, boats with guns, small airplanes, massive airplanes, military planes, helicopters, etc. and etc. All the vehicles controls very arcadey, and it is very easy to control all of the different vehicles in this game with little to no practice. Cars have never handled all that well in this series, and it is still not perfect, but it is a step up compared to Just Cause 3. Some fast cars still controls a bit strangely though. And the motorcycles controls very badly. What is the big shame though is that they don't really make use of all of these vehicles in the missions. I will get back to the missions later, but when you have all of these cool vehicles, then I want to see boat races, dogfighting missions, helicopter combat, car racing, motorcycle racing, truck racing, and etc. and etc. But we don't get this. At best we get a couple of sprint type side missions, which are very underwhelming. I mean, the previous games, they had boat races and plane races. Sadly, this is indicative for most of the side content. Let us start by comparing the wingsuit challenges in Just Cause 3 to Just Cause 4.
A lot of pillars of smoke emerging from the Griffon base recently, and good. So did we. Glad we're all on the same page.
Easy.
The comparison is not even funny. Let us see some more examples of the side content in Just Cause 4. Well, we have driving through a ring with a certain vehicle, not very exciting. We have driving through a ring with a certain speed, also not very exciting.
You're an artist, Rico.
This is fairly awful, and to me it's just ridiculous that you create this massive map with all of these vehicles and mechanics, and then you scatter the map with this nonsense side content. And then we have the base capturing, which has always been a big part in the Just Cause games. In Just Cause 3, I had very mixed feelings about it. It was mostly about blowing shit up, and it was fairly repetitive. However, it also had a relaxing quality to it. Sometimes you just want something nice and easy to play while listening to a podcast, and the base capturing in Just Cause 3 really hit this spot. In Just Cause 4 they have changed it, and now they have a number of mini missions which they alternate between for the different bases. Mostly it's about hacking consoles or destroying objects, and it is an improvement in terms of variety. I still find myself missing the old simple way of doing it, however. Perhaps I am impossible to please, but I would like to have both, and I feel like something is missed with the new system. Capturing different bases are required to unlock story missions later in the game. There aren't that many story missions though, and I don't think they are very exciting. They feel too similar to the side content, and the shitty story never manages to lift them up either. Thinking back, I can almost not remember any story missions from this game. You would expect that all the different weather effects shown in the promo material would lead to some exciting missions, but they barely show up in the game. Perhaps the campaign missions are not the focus of this game, but I think good missions are needed in a game like this, and today the game is held back by the missions being generic and forgettable. Compare this to their competitors, for instance GTA, where I have no issues listing a long list of missions from the different games that I have strong memories of. Finally we get to the combat, and like many things in this game I have mixed feelings on it. It is very varied, and one moment you will shoot people on foot, and in the next you will control a tank or a helicopter. The grappling hook and wingsuit makes you extremely movable, and you will fly around the battlefield in a very satisfying way. The shooting has also been improved from the previous game, and overall there is a lot of things going well for the combat in this game. It feels kind of like an 80s action movie where grenades goes off and people are getting blown away in ridiculous manners. And it is just fun to watch. There are problems, however. Even though the shooting has been improved, it is okay at best, and the weapon variety seems to have gone down from the previous games. Enemies also spawn so frequently that it sometimes feels like they are not even worth killing, and often you will fly around the battlefield looking for objectives, and the constant shooting at you will just be a minor annoyance. Since you are so movable, it's also very easy to just fly away and regenerate, and in general, the combat is just a bit too easy, and you will only die because you do something incredibly foolish. There are also many moments of frustration, and it can be just too much when you have soldiers, snipers, helicopters and tanks shooting at you at the same time. But then other times it just works, and it can be loads of fun. The playstyle is unique, and I guess I do like it, although I think that some fine-tuning can be done for a much better player experience. I guess you can say that though about the entire game. It has a lot of missed potential, and I would like it to be more. But still, I like what is there. Fun things are fun, and this should be recognized. But it's also hard to be content when they have clearly scaled down their ambition compared to the previous games. I don't want to whine too much about small details, but when playing through the older games for this review, it is clear that a lot of things are missing in the fourth entry. Where are the pistols? Marine bases, endgame content, C4, grenades, etc. and etc. What is there is still fun, but it is hard not to be a little bit disappointed when a game is so similar to its predecessor but still removes so many things. If there will be a Just Cause 5, then I hope that they go the other direction and once again raises their ambition. I also hope that they will consider what this game series should actually be about, because I think it needs to be about more than just blowing up things. With all of this being said, Just Cause 5 is still a fun game, and if it sounds interesting to you, then give it a go. You will probably have a good time.